Hello everyone, I'm Danielle from Cageless Readings. Welcome to the channel, or if you've been here before, thanks for watching another card reading. So today we're just going to choose from 3 piles, and my intention is just to ask, what do you need to hear right now? What do you need to know? So pile 1 is the Angels and Auras Oracle card. Pile 2 is the Doreen Virtue Angel Therapy cards. And pile 3 is the Magical Messages from the Fairies Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue as well. So I'll just give you a few minutes here to choose your piles, and I'll see you all in your card readings. Hello, pile 1. So you all chose the Angels and Auras Oracle cards. I'm just going to shuffle them and pull them, and then I'll get into your card readings. All right. So let's start this way. So focus on your health. Angels are watching over you. Point of view. Communication. See the humor. And then we have Venusian Galactic Council. Venusian Galactic Council. There we go. I was struggling to say that one. Sirius Star Blessings. Yes, proceed, be seen, push through. And higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. And this one over here said star being guides, answer the call, time to shine. Okay, pile 1. So the card that draws my eyes in right away is this one here where it says angels are watching over you. So I don't know if pile 1 has been feeling like this recently, but I'm so focused in on this lady here who is so stressed out, and I can see that she's worried about money. She's worried about her relationships, whether that's her family, her kids, her partner, her parents, her friendships. And then just feeling like she doesn't have enough time to get it all done, to do everything. And I just see exhaustion here, like trying to be everywhere, be everything, do everything. It's just overwhelming. So a lot of this advice coming through is advice around getting you to feel more relaxed and out of this energy, this state that you might be in right now or are recently trying to get out of. It's funny, I feel like for some of you, you would say, oh, well, it's not as bad as it used to be. It's getting better, but it's still so stressful and so draining for you. So advice cards from your angels here. Communication is like a really big one. Actually, a lot of these are coming up pretty strongly. The focus on your health, wellness, active, radiant nourishment. So this might be a picture of someone running, but the focus on your health is more of a pointed thing around your self-care, your needs being met. For you to first not feel so exhausted and so drained and like so like the energy I keep seeing is like you feel like you need to be in 3 places at once. And the way to get out of that is just first things first, make sure you're getting the sleep you need, make sure you're eating the food that makes you feel as energetic as possible. You're not eating foods that are just quick and easy that make you feel more drained and heavier. And I just feel like there's just such a self-care note there. So if you're someone who does like to go for a jog because you feel good, then awesome, do that. If you're someone who likes to go for walks with your friends, then do that. Like, it's really, make sure you're prioritizing your own wellness, your own energy tank. That's so huge. And I know it seems so hard to prioritize it when you're feeling like you need to be in 3 places at once, but they're just saying this isn't a functional style to be coming from. Like, this is drains you, burns you out, and then if you're burnt out, then it takes you so much longer to recover from that than if you just take some time now. And I hope that's really making sense to this pile, because I feel like there's just such like, I just don't have time, but it's the reminder that keeps coming forward is, well, it's, you're really not going to have time when you're burnt out and you can't do any of the activities that you need to do because you just have no energy left. And that might even be why I like this changing the point of view. Like right now, I feel like you're more stuck in the left side energy here, where it's like, it's so funny. There's all this like exhaustion. Like it's more than that. Like in both these images, there's someone who's like so tired, they have their hands on their face, and that's when I see it, when you almost feel defeated. And its advice for this card is trying to get you to shift from feeling defeated, unsupported, drained, burdened to this state of like, the word for it would be gratitude, and just I love life. Like, there's things that I can do and enjoy in my day. And I think the perspective shift will change once this self-care gets figured out. And they are talking a lot about the food for someone here. Some of you really are not prioritizing eating foods that make you feel good. And you're eating a lot of food that makes you feel just so much worse. And I think you've thought that. They're saying that, like, you're just like, oh, I know this isn't going to make me feel great, but I just need to eat something. And they're like, it's almost worse to eat something in that case if it's going to be so much more depleting on your body. So they're really stressing not that you don't eat, but they're stressing that you take the time to eat the food that makes you feel good, makes you feel energized. And the communication card. Interesting here. Yeah, when I see this, I keep thinking about making sure that you're voicing to these areas of your life your time, a realistic time frame that you actually have for them, which I think is going to be kind of hard for this pile to say. Like, say it's a client over here, maybe, I'm not sure what it is over here, it's some kind of work. I feel like it's really hard for you to say, like, I'm sorry, I can't do that in this time frame. I need this amount of time to get it done, and it's at this cost. Yeah, there's something around work where I feel like you're like working hard and you're working a lot, but it's not for a fair to you price. And I just think the deadlines are exhausting. Like, the deadline is unrealistic. Maybe that's the right word. It's unrealistic unless you are spending nights in the office or wherever it is that you work trying to get it done, and you're not even being able to do it as efficiently because you're so exhausted. Like, if I think there's some kind of pattern, like a circle going on with this group, where you're like, I keep finding myself here, like, I'm staying up late, I'm not eating good, I'm exhausted, I start the next day exhausted, I'm not even getting anything done, I'm not producing at my best. Like, it feels like such a vicious, frustrating cycle. So the communication, I really see the expression and honesty sticking out. It also says accuracy. So I do feel like it is talking so much about being honest and giving an accurate estimation, I think is the word they're saying, about how much time you need. And then there is going to be a thing with relationships here. I think right now you're probably so busy that the relationships kind of are in the bottom of the list to get back to. And I want to be careful when I say this, because it's not that you don't prioritize them. I think you're just like, I have this thing to get done for work. When I have a second, I'll message this person back, I'll get back to this person, and then you're already not getting the work done in the time that they're wanting you to get it done. So I feel like then you never get that time frame to get back to that relationship or back to that person. So it's almost like that's also creating this very hectic, annoying cycle for you. Sorry, I guess my cat's just gonna hang out here for this card reading. Hey? Oh, maybe he's gonna go now that I've addressed him. Okay, so I feel like it's so important to accurately and honestly give like, not guidelines, like quotes, like time frames. I keep coming back to like the time frames. I think there's like a business word that you use that I don't know. So I'm like, I'm not quite saying the word right, but there's some kind of quota or thing where you just need more time. And maybe you have a boss that is very strong in their masculine energy. So they'll say, I need this then. And it almost feels like there's no discussion. But then you're like, no, I can't actually do this. But then there isn't that energy to be like, hey, I can't realistically perform the service I need to do in that time or perform that work in that time. And I feel like there's a few things where you feel like you're battling and it feels really hard right now. So I'm so sorry for that struggle right now. I keep coming back to that frustrating thing where you're like, if someone could just, like, I feel like you're always seeing like, if I could just have more time here, then it would solve all my problems here. And it's like, the solution to this whole time issue, but I almost feel like there's a block there. And I wonder if it is a boss. Is it like an expectation from a customer? There's someone's expectations that aren't realistic and don't work in a practical day-to-day environment. So there's something there where they're saying it needs to be addressed because it's burning you out. And if you burn out and crash, it doesn't serve anyone. Prioritizing your needs. Yeah. See the humor, lividity, perspective, wisdom, and playful. So funny. It's like I feel like there's a joke here. Like, I'm reading cards for you and this dog is reading cards for this other dog. And I don't know why I feel like there's literally a joke about me reading cards and this dog reading cards to you. So I feel like there's an irony here. Like, maybe you can read your own cards and I don't know. I can't figure out the joke, but I do see the humor. Number 33, I feel like there really is like a joke in even how you're watching me talk about this. Maybe it's because it's funny that I'm telling you to do what you know to do and you're watching a video about it. I don't know. You'll have to let me know if that makes sense to you. But see the humor in this, in the situation, in the irony of life and the circumstances. Don't take it so serious. I guess they're saying there's too much seriousness, but I can understand where that's coming from with this pressure. This deadline pressure is just so annoying. You probably feel like that too. I'm like, me just being the card reader tuning in, this energy feels so annoying to be dealing with. So over here, I said we had high heart activation. So divine love, your heart is healed, dropping shields, star blessings, proceeding, pushing through, and then this galactic council, answer the call, time to shine. Yeah, the one thing that keeps catching my eyes, I feel like the point of view and this time to shine card feels very interconnected in some way. Let me just ask a little bit here. What is going on with these two cards? Okay, so I think there's going to be a couple different messages here, but the one that's coming up the strongest is about following your divine guidance or your intuition, depending how you receive it. I think a lot of it comes through. You know what's funny? There's a lot of pink in these two cards, but I feel like it comes through your crown, like you're inspired, really knowing what to do, and you're almost like feeling so called to go and do something. And I just feel like it's coming from it would say galactic council here, so your guides, your soul purpose. It's like it feels very alluring, and like feels like you should be doing something. I It doesn't feel correlated with the job you're in right now. It feels like something different. Call to action and time to shine. So maybe just take that as a confirmation if you've been wondering about if you should move forward with this thing you've been drawn to. I would say yes. Just looking at this, and the fact that there is so much pink makes me feel like it's aligned with what you feel is right for you, what you feel you want to do. Like it's not logical. It's if you had to like reason and be like, what's the most logical thing to do here? It doesn't fit into that because it's such a heart energy focused decision. It's following your heart, literally. And the higher heart activation, I keep thinking of Lee Harris. I can't stop thinking of that because he channels so much messages from disease about people waking up right now into more heart-centered energy, and telling me here that like I don't think it was closed for you. I think it's just opened more. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's just something going on with your heart energy here. It's like you're almost being more open to the spiritual. And I can't, like, I see this as a stargate, and I see this as a stargate. So there's just like, there's some kind of opportunity coming in. It's almost like taking control. Like when I see this stuff, it makes me think like you see that you can create, design, program your reality. You can choose how you see it. You can choose, I don't know, there's so much there. There's a lot of powerful messaging coming through this, but it's like a feeling that I'm getting, so I'm having a hard time explaining it in words. Yeah, I don't know, maybe it's just even like you're stepping into an empowered stage of your life. And that empowered stage is being in your heart energy, being in your feeling, being in your compassion and empathy and love. And I wonder if that even makes sense, because I almost see over here you're trying to like do these required standards from your boss that are unrealistic, or from your client that are unrealistic. And it's almost like you're getting empowered and you're stepping into this heart energy where you're like, no, I can't do it that way. It's like getting out of that, like, it's not just masculine energy. It's like that toxic masculine energy of like, we have this to do at this time, and it's just very intense. And you're stepping into this gentle energy where it cares more about the quality of the experience, the quality of the product, and making something beautiful, making everyone feel valued during that process. So I don't know if this is correlated with work. There's something going on here though, but like a shift in energy, and definitely an activation within you. So something is going on with you all spiritually for sure. I just can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe I'll pull another card for this, because I feel like this is talking a lot about general health in your work and your frustration and struggles with that. But this is talking about something on a more galactic, on a more spiritual, higher vibration thing going on with you. So this is very earthly. This is very like soul energy. So I'm just going to see what else do we need to know. What's going on with your soul energy here? Do you want that one? I'll take that one. Okay. Okay, law of attraction. Okay, so it is creation energy. Open your heart to love. So you are getting a lot of heart-centered cards, like heart activation, dropping shields, divine love. Your heart is healed. You have vulnerability, forgiveness, allowing, community. So you know what? That might just be the message for you. Like, it's so important to drop into that heart energy, to be open. Ooh, I like that there's a number 4 on there. Okay, and law of attraction. So that could also explain the whole Stargate vibe I'm getting here and here, that creation energy. law of attraction, action, thought, feeling, diligence, it is talking a lot about knowing what you want and knowing that if you work on it, if you open your heart to receiving it, to seeing the beauties that life can offer it, then you can attract that in. If you think life will just be this stressful, exhausting place, then it's really hard for you to experience the beautiful things because you're so focused on the stress and all that other stuff, which makes sense because I do feel like it's a very like heavy vibration you've been in. But I hope that makes sense. Like if you've ever heard like energy goes where your focus flows, I feel like that's a really good is that example analogy for this pile, because if you're focusing on the exhaustion, this, it does make sense that you wouldn't see anything else because you're just so busy with all that other stuff. So it says, my angels are with me. Life loves me. I am beautiful. I am prosperous. Everything is going to work out. Action, thought, feeling, diligence. Yeah, I don't know. I can see how you're feeling like really stuck, but I feel like I can see that you can turn the corner and you're working on turning the corner to get out of that. Action does feel important though, like knowing that you do have to take action for change to occur. If you take the same actions, then you will get the same result, which some people say is the definition of insanity. So there is something interesting there. So I think the first call to action for this pile would be focusing more on your own health. So it's funny, I feel like that it can be a little frustrating for this pile to hear that, but just even changing one thing a little bit will have a reaction and a ripple effect, sorry is the word I was looking for, to how everything else is working out. So even if you just say prioritize sleeping, I don't know if this pile sleeps much, and then the food, maybe you don't get it to 100% the healthiest food that you would want to be eating, but you make it a 50% change. Like that would even help, I think, a lot. Definitely something like, I know this card has a park on it, but I feel like that's because this pile likes to do something in parks, walking in parks, jogging through a park. I don't know. I feel like some people do socialize in the park. Like I see them walking around through a park where there isn't a lot of trees, but there's just enough to like feel more grounded, more at peace, more centered in the body. So that feels really important for this pile. And then definitely that open your heart to love, forgiveness, allowing, and community. So I wonder with the communication part too, especially after seeing the community here and the receiving, letting other people help you, I wonder if there's a little message here about honest communication involving saying you need someone else to help you on a project, or you need someone else to help you with something to do with work. And I feel like when that happens, like, whew, that just frees up so much more of your time because there's two people. Yeah, there's something that could feel good there for some of you. Very interesting. Well, I think this is all I have for this pile. We have some good beginner steps. As always, though, like it's up to you to take them if you want to. You never have to do anything you don't want to do. So just remember that. Okay, well, I will maybe catch you around another pick a card reading. If you enjoyed it, I do appreciate it if you could like or leave a comment. It does help the channel get more views. It's kind of crazy how it makes such a difference, but it does. So anyways, thanks for watching, and maybe I'll catch you all around. Hello, Pile 2. So you chose the Angel Therapy deck. I'm just going to pull some cards now, and we'll get into your card reading. Okay, so we have career transitions. We have Haniel Silver, Goddess, Psychic, Sacred, and Proud. We have Jophiel, Pink, Compassion, Self-Care, Simplification, and Beauty. And it says, I matter, I am loved, I am enough, and I can. And then we got a few cards here. Heal Away Addiction, Parents, Singing and Dancing, Clear Yourself, Workshop and Seminars, Visualize Success, Throat Chakra, and Vacuum Away Fear. Okay, so a lot of clearing work right now being recommended for this pile. Parents. But when I see that though, when I see a lot of clearing work needing to be done, it tells me that this pile or this group is in a time right now where they're trying, you could say, to level up, to change, to shift, to grow out of. Especially when I see workshops and seminars, I think this pile is definitely trying to grow through an experience or through a phase of their life. So that's really cool to see. So I don't want you to get overwhelmed by all this clearing stuff and healing away addictions, parents, clear yourself, all that. That's a lot, right? If you look at it from that perspective. So there's just a lot of this, like especially in this career transition, like leaving the past. So I really feel like this pile has outgrown an old version of themselves. And you're in that in-between phase where you're moving into the new you, but there's some healing, some maybe inner child work, some things like that to clear so you can shift into that next phase or version of yourself with the most ease. So the workshops and seminars, I know I really like this, you know why? Because it is blue and I keep seeing a lot of whatever is going on and whatever phase you need to move into. There's something you need to do, something you're going to learn in a workshop and seminar that's going to help you learn to speak more truly about what you want, who you are. There's like, I think the throat chakra clearing that needs to happen is that you've changed as a person, and it's almost like you need to speak clearly to who you are now. I hope that's making sense. Like there's this beautiful version of you that the world doesn't even know about. And I think you've changed so much, but the world doesn't even really know that. They still just see you as your older self. So there's definitely something that's going to happen where the new you starts to verbally come out into the world, what you see and believe and want. And I do think there is like that heart chakra connection to like speaking what is in the heart, what is your true self. It's probably because this Jophiel card here, she's so all about being magnificently herself. And then Haniel, another amazing angel here, goddess, psychic, sacred, proud. Proud is such a good word. Like she's also usually symbolized by, I think it's a horned owl. So if you see a lot of those, it could be another reference that you've been seeing Haniel, which I'm like, I don't know. I just like that she's associated with the moon. So it's really like doing some of the shadow work. But then over here, we have a beautiful opposite of like, here's like the sun doing like seeing the beauty and the fun and the joy and the love and the just the pleasure in experiencing life and not being too focused always on this darker shadow side. It's like, I think you're going to learn a lot about the balance. There is a balance to seeing it, holding space for it, not being afraid of it, knowing that you have a lot of power in embracing the shadow, but knowing that to spend life too seriously isn't the purpose of being here. So there's just that remembering of, I want to say like the expression, like the sun will rise another day, like something like that. Like there's beauty to be had out there. Yeah, and like the thing I keep getting drawn to is I matter. Like I matter. I feel like that's so important for this pile. Maybe you don't know that you matter. You are enough, you are loved, and you can do whatever you want to do. That feels so important for this pile. So I want to I think these cards do feel very correlated. So on the note of releasing some old wounding, some old trauma, this feels like there might be some in the physical body, held in the physical body. And the singing and dancing, if there is a throat chakra block, singing could be really great for that. Because I do feel like for this pile, it's holding back your words, staying silent or more quiet in situations. So singing would be a pretty good way to just, you know, strengthen that throat chakra, like literally strengthen those vocal cords. But the dancing, I feel like that part, probably also because the parents have musical instruments in this, I feel like that's important for getting rid of any, this is what it is, accidental taught lessons by your parents to you. So it's almost saying like if your parents, they did the best that they could, and I think there is some love in this parent child relationship, but the parents just like had their woundings, and I think you have their same woundings. Like they put their shame on you. And I don't think that's news to this pile. I feel like that's something you've been aware of, that it stemmed from them, or how they parented you, how they may have maybe made you feel shameful about certain things that you did. I think dancing, I've actually heard about this before. I don't know if it's called ecstatic dance or expressive dance. You don't have to go to a class for this. You could just do this in your own private space. But I would, if you're going to do it in your own home, I would say to put earbuds in, like actual some kind of like way to put sound in so it's close to your ears and you're almost just taken over with by the sound, and just not dancing to look normal, but just asking your body how would it like to move to that song, and just letting it do whatever it wants to do. And that's why I think for this pile you might do better doing this in your own room, because you might not feel comfortable doing it in a group. But if you do feel like doing that in a group, that's amazing. I do think they're equally going to be powerful for you. I think it's just even that movement is going to like release things like stuck emotion and places in your body. If you feel like you just have to do like flick your ankles around or something strange like that, just trust it, because it's just like your body releasing old pain, ache, guilt, anything that's not serving your highest good. And even look at this clear yourself card. To me, it looks like she's dancing in it. So I just, I feel like if you're wondering how can you clear yourself, I think dance is the answer for this pile. Yeah. Especially since I feel like there's like a moon behind there. So it's like getting rid of old trauma stuck in the body. It says here, ask the angels to release any toxic energies that you may have absorbed. So another thing that makes me think of here is I do feel like I do like almost see like cords here, and we all do naturally form energetic cords with people. So it's just like a reminder to make sure that you are clearing your cords so that they don't become exhausting, or sometimes people can accidentally take on other people's problems, and sometimes other people can accidentally take some of too much of your own energy, and you can see that through cords with people. So I would just recommend doing a cord cutting, which there is many ways to do it. The way I like to do it is with the Ho'oponopono method, because it's sending the other person love, forgiveness, and wishing them the best, like blessing them, and then releasing it. So I find like there's more of a healing aspect done in that when you do it that way. And the cords don't come back as fast, because it just makes sense. It's almost like you've healed a little bit of a wound. So try looking up the Ho'oponopono method for this, because I think this would be really helpful for this pile. And I mean, I just recommend everyone do it. Or do a version of cord cutting that resonates with you, right? Because I know a lot of people actually who are just happy with just regular energetic cord cutting, where you visualize a cord being cut and then your energy going back to you and the cord fading away. But the Ho'oponopono one, yeah, I feel like it's just, it feels more wholesome. So the Heal Away Addictions card. this feels very much like heal away unhealthy comfort habits. I'm going to say that. So if you have actions that you do when you're not feeling great and they're not activities or actions that make you feel higher vibrational, it's saying to kind of purge them from your life. So if it could be locking yourself in your house and only watching TV for 2 or 3 days, that would be one of those examples. If it's starting to go and eat like an ice cream every day because that's like an addictive comfort, then it's saying like shifting out of that. Talking to, I'm going to say ex-boyfriends or girlfriends to make you feel better or distracted, that would be another thing. So I feel like everyone is going to have their unique version of this. I feel like the TV and locking yourself in the room one, that feels like a stronger vibe for this pile. So I just think there's more people who do that, who are watching this. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say about that. So this, I think, comes up when you're trauma triggered, or like an old wounding comes up, or maybe your parents call you, or an incident happens that makes you think about something that you feel shameful or guilty about, that kind of stemmed from being younger and it happening to you then. So that's why I feel like these ones all go together. This workshop thing, I just feel like there's so much excitement here, like finding people who are more like-minded, who are more like you. So doing some kind of event, it could be workshop or seminar, where there's other people who are interested in the same thing as you, and going there to meet these people feels amazing. Visualize success. See yourself doing well in this situation and have faith in a positive outcome. So there is something here. I mean, I feel like this pile is, like I said, doing a transition. So just seeing, visualizing, knowing that you can obtain it. I feel like that's just talking a little bit about manifestation work and trusting and building your confidence up that you can have whatever you desire or do and be successful at whatever you would like. Interesting though, that same thing, blue is really drawing me here. So it makes me wonder if you're saying things out loud that might disempower yourself, or kind of, it's like when you could say, oh, I don't know if I'll get that job though, or I don't know if I'll be good enough for it. If you're saying things like that, they're saying, please don't say those things, because you can do it. You will be successful at it, but just don't be speaking the opposite or the negative into reality. You don't want to, you just energetically don't want to do that for manifestation work. Because it's almost like saying, I want this, but I don't think I'm good enough. So then it kind of like cancels itself out. So then this is so funny. I was going to say it's like fear thoughts. Then I just saw this one says vacuum away fear. And I think that's what it's talking about, is like you want to take a step forward, but you're worried or nervous. There's like this confidence block right now about whether or not you can do it, if you're good enough for it, if you'll be successful in it. And that comes from fear. So when it says vacuum away fear, it's like saying don't. Well, it is saying there is like a technique to do that, but it's also saying like don't feed into it. Don't let it like come out in your words about yourself and like what you can and can't do. Yeah, that's very much a huge topic here. And they keep telling me though, like this is like a programmed fear or a programmed lack of confidence. Like it did come from this thing over here with the upbringing. Maybe you were bullied as a kid, maybe you just stood out always as a kid too, and there's like some kind of shame or guilt or not feeling good enough, or like you fit in, or like you can do things, like there's some kind of block there. And they are saying that is something that will clear with time. It's not something you're going to have forever, because this was a learned programming, so you will release it. It just, you just kind of have to stay on top of it. I know that can be really frustrating to hear, but that's, I guess, what inner child work is correcting yourself whenever you say something that might have been fear related. So if you say like, I'm not sure if I'm good enough, correct yourself and say something different. Something, I'm like, some of you might not say I'm good enough to do this. I'm I'm capable of learning how. So maybe say that instead. I'm capable and willing to learn how, instead of saying I'm not sure if I can or if I'm good enough at it. So it's like you aren't admitting to knowing how to do it already, but you're not putting yourself down in the process. So if you try to tweak your wording so that things are being said in a more kind and loving way about yourself, that would be a really good step. And then Archangel Michael, I'll read this card here. So it says, call upon Archangel Michael and Raphael to lift fear-based energy from you, your surroundings, and the situation and everyone involved. So just a reminder that Archangel Michael can always be with you. He is the angel of protection. And you know what? I do feel like this pile, you guys are like little light beams, little light workers. So I think you just haven't quite found your thing you're going to do, like your main job. And I think that could even be why the workshops and seminars also is coming through about you're not really sure where you're going right now, where you're headed. And they're saying just explore. There's no wrong or right thing to do. Just explore your options. Yeah, I should even see this over here, like the career change, and then she's like going to step into her wings. Like, I just feel like this is this pile. Very sweet, very loving, and really you are meant to do a lot more. Maybe if you've always felt like that, like there's something else you should be doing, but you can't put your finger on it. And I think it's just helping people. Like, and I shouldn't say helping, because that's too broad. I feel like it's more like empowering is usually the word. Empowering people to become this for themselves. And that could even be why you're on your journey to figure it out for yourself, so that you can teach others how to embody this card for themselves. Yeah. I think that might be all I have. Well, also, I just want to point out that this one did say psychic. Like, I do just think this pile is super gifted, and you haven't maybe ever acted on that gift, but now could be a great opportunity to act on it. Why not, right? Opportunity, excitement, change, and investment. So that's really the card you have right now. Doesn't all have to be about the healing work. You can also do some fun things. So maybe you'll get into, I don't know, shamanic work, mediumship, card reading, Akashic records. I'm trying to think of all the other ones I know. Channeling. People are channelers. I wouldn't say this pile won't be channelers, but I feel like you're more called to action people. So I feel like whatever you're going to do, it's going to be more holding space for others. So I don't know if it would be channeling. I feel like it would be more of a nurturing event or thing. Maybe it's just Reiki. I don't know. Acupuncture. I don't know. Therapy. Who knows? Something like that. But I think you're going to explore it. You're going to explore some options, some workshops and seminars, and you're going to really see who you are and what you want to do and what inspires and excites you about the future. Okay. I think that's all I have for you all. I'm wishing you just the best. And yeah, maybe I'll catch you around another pick a card reading. Who knows? Hello, pile 3. Y'all chose the fairy deck. So I'm just going to pull some cards and then get into your card reading. Okay, we have Anunnaki light codes, Sirius star blessings, I am presence, Shamuel light green, Uriel gold, soul groups, And then we have patience, please, children. You've got the power, love life, and let me just slide these over. Marriage, and goodbye to the old, hello to the new. Okay, pile 3. So I think for the majority of those watching, you have had a pretty good relationship with your partners or spouses and your children, but I do feel like there was something that occurred that maybe just like made things feel a little stressful or a little less connected in your family system. But this reading is talking about you're coming out of that dip or that phase. So if I look at this, happiness, vibrancy, energy, and hope, like Chamuel, like green, like I do feel like it's talking about with the children here. Like they're looking happy and fulfilled, and I feel like they are actually doing more activities. Like there's some sort of physical activities that they're doing that brings more joy to them, and that's even making their vibration higher and them happier, which in turn makes you feel quite good and I don't know, like I want to say complete. You feel complete. I don't know, something like that. When they're doing well and happy. But then like the marriage card here too, it's like the fairies join you in celebrating wedded bliss and love life and goodbye to the old, hello to the new. I do think for some of you, maybe your marriage had been in just not as a harmonious spot. I don't think people watching this pile have been, I don't know, I'm saying that now and they're like, no, that's not true. Okay, for some people, it has been hard in your marriage for a long period of time, but there's another half of this group where it's just in a bumpy place right now, where I almost feel like you were just very busy. I do feel like it is child related. You had children, maybe they're just younger, or they're in a point in their life where they're needing more support and more time and energy from you. Sorry, all my cats are coming into these card readings today. Makes it more interesting for you all, I guess. But it is talking here, like, here it says end of cycle, energetic shifts, pushing through, proceeding, trusting that this union you're in does have a purpose. And that there is going to be more connection and more passion. Like, look at this actually over here. You can't see it right now because of my cat. It says passion, epiphany, driven. Like, I think this is, for some of you, there is like a little bit of a stagnant period also that was happening in your work. And now I feel like you're going to find more drive. Some of you might actually be some kind of writer or something where you now are feeling like you just have so many ideas and things are flowing. But if there isn't that in your career, I think it is also just referring to your family life, and they're just being more passion and just things are clearer and there's just this restored, I don't know if I want to say like youthfulness or like energy maybe to the relationship, and everyone's just more connected. And I love this soul groups card. Look at this. This really tells me that like your kids and your spouse, you guys are like, you are a soul group. Reunion, connection, validation. I don't know. I feel like, well, you're definitely in one of those family systems where you like to reincarnate together and play different roles. And if you've thought that, I think this card reading is just validating it, because it has so much like healing in it. There's so much past history with it. And I feel like there's a lot of lessons, but it feels like overall everyone wants to support each other. Whether you feel that all the time, I do think that is something everyone in this relationship wants. There's so much yellow here, which is really interesting. So it makes me wonder if if you've been going through a lull in your relationship with your spouse or your children, if both your inner childs have just been acting up lately or for the last little bit, and that's where this miscommunication, this tension has come from. Because I feel like the yellow, so the solar plexus or the inner child, the ego has been affecting the dynamic of the relationship. But I even like too is this patience please card. Like what you're asking for is coming about. Have patience, as there are unseen factors that have to occur first. I feel like this is even just knowing some of you might have gotten to such a low spot that you're like, should I even be in this relationship anymore? I don't know. And this is telling me right away that that is not the case. Like, yes, you are aligned, you are really good together. This is just like a rough spot. This is just like a lull. Patience please. Yeah, I feel like the main thing is the spouse relationship is something there is going to change a lot. Maybe it's even the I am present, like being more present in that relationship with each other, on both sides, and connecting more. Yeah, so much yellow. So much yellow. But the marriage and the children, they're all in orange, which just tells me like there's going to be more joy there, there's going to be more happiness there, there's more pleasure coming in for it. And I keep seeing this as a rebirth of the union. So like I just feel like both partners are going to see each other in a different light and appreciate each other in a different way than how they've previously been seeing them. Here it says, the basis of your question involves your romantic life, which is now changing for the better. So there's another great confirmation that there is change coming in. And this, like, you use your ability to resolve the situation, you can do it. And I like that this is like a little girl. Because I really think that's what's been getting in the way recently of this relationship is past wounding, trauma triggers coming up in both people. And I just feel like it's saying like, you've got the knowledge. I think you got the know-how, you know your triggers and stuff, and you can know how to utilize moments of when you don't feel triggered to have more productive conversations or something like that. But so much confirmation about things changing. I really want this pile to take that away. Goodbye to the old. Romantic life is changing for the better. You have the ability to resolve this situation. Celebrating bliss. You're now connecting with your children. What you're asking for is coming about. Just have some patience. Soul groups, reunion, connection. I am present, activating, accessing the divine within, pushing through, being seen, proceed, energetic shifts, like end of a cycle, energy and hope. Like I really want you to hear like every one of these cards says something about things are going to change. Know they're going to change. Don't get stuck feeling like you're like trapped or things are always going to be bad. Every one of these cards says that is not going to be the case. You're coming into better times. You're coming in to a more loving partnership. And I even feel like with the kids, like there'll be more, I don't know, there's kids are just so happy in this card reading. All of them are so smiley. So it could be literally your inner children are going to get the healing they need, or they're just not going to be so triggered. They're going to be happy. Or it could be your actual children are also going to be happier. But there's something about activity here. Some of these kids are actually in a physical activity or sport that makes them happy, that makes them excited in their day-to-day, which is just, yeah, I don't know, that's really important for someone here. Trying to see if there's anything else. I feel like the big thing they keep saying is just trust that things are changing. Trust that things are changing. This is your soul group. You're not outcasted. You're not alone. Amazing things are coming into your love life. Yeah, you know what? I wonder, maybe I'll just pull one more card asking if there's anything else you need to know. I feel like this is quite short reading. Anything else? Row 3 needs to know. I want this one. Connect with nature. You're rejuvenated and inspired by spending time outdoors. So maybe it's a good answer to what you can do right now while you're waiting for all this to come in. Another one. Everything's okay. Don't worry. It's all working out in a beautiful way. And she also is just very nature looking. So I don't know what the climate is for you all, but it's funny. I was just even thinking, if you have a room where you have a lot of plants, you could even just do meditations in that room if it's too cold to go outside. Or maybe if you walk a dog, you could even use that time to just reconnect and reground. Because I think if there's a lot of inner child wounding coming up, going outside and grounding would be the fastest way to come back to your true, authentic self and get out of that triggered state. I also like this is healing card. This is opening up to the divine inspiration card. Yeah, I feel like this could be all I have to say to this pile. Yeah, I don't know. This the main thing they want you to take away is just know that things are going to get better for you and your partner and your children, for everyone, the whole family unit. Everything is looking up, just needs time, and they just need to be mindful of that inner child needing nurture and love, and I think that'll just smooth things out for this relationship a lot. Okay. I know it's pretty fast. That's crazy. I thought this was going to be a really long card reading since I pulled so many cards, but that's all I have for you. So I hope that brought some little validations that you were needing to hear today. And I just wish you the best. You'll hope for the best for your love life and your relationships. They're looking like things are going to get easier for you very soon. Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be doing a sound healing with Reiki infusion. So that's why I have my crystals here. I'm going to be focusing on the heart center and the sacral, and it's really going to be about opening your heart to joy. And yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it as simple as that. So yeah, I'll probably do 8 or 10 minutes for this. And I'm just gonna get started right away. So you can feel free to close your eyes and ground yourself. Or you can lie down, whatever you feel comfortable doing. We usually don't recommend that you drive while you receive Reiki just because you can get a little ungrounded and out of body. Okay, I'm gonna begin right away here. that's the end of the sound bowl session for today. Take a moment to come back to your present physical form. That might look like slowly feeling the weight of your body against the seat or the floor, or your feet on the ground. Stretching your neck or your hands. And it might even look like having a glass of water. But take your time coming back. Thank you for tuning in for the sound healing. If you enjoy these, please leave a like or a comment. It does help the videos get more views, and I would really appreciate that. So I hope you all have a wonderful day and you're feeling a little more light and a little more joyful.